So today's practice is very relevant to what's happening. I have seen most of you as much as I can personally, or in a healing session or in a conversation. What we have to understand in life is we are not very good and capable because of our ego existence to do simple things, to work out things. So this is a huge problem. Even on a healing session, or even on a conversation, even on a yoga class, even on giving someone advice, they want that part to be more grandeur, big. Now, this is coming from the identification of the ego, because ego doesn't like when the life is simple, even it is very hugely investing on it, but it doesn't like it, loves the struggle. So recently what I have gathered is, if there is nothing in your life, you make something bigger to struggle. It can be simply saying that I would love more protection, I would love more security, I would love more of a fairness. It comes in all these different names, and it creates something very small, a big problem. So you have to ask the question, in every moment, our ego runs from a habitual pattern. What do you get out of the bed and say the first thing? Oh, the life is going to be too hard. Today, this is this. Today, this is that. Or you simply say, or say nothing. Just admire the fact that you are alive and you get to enjoy a day. So the practice is going to be in this level, to go deeper, to see that what you are miserably creating for yourself. And when you create for yourself, no matter, you don't have the potential to force it into people, but eventually you pull people into it. Because it's like this, if you're meditating, suddenly you will feel that boredom and restlessness. And then what do? If you really sit with it, you can go another step beyond to the source. But instead of, while you're meditating, your first realization come, my mind is bored, my mind is lazy, this and that very moment you wanted to get out of it to react on the surface. So you're going to pull something from the world. Let me see what's happening in the world. Let me see what's happening in the social media. Let me see what's happening with my past, present, future relations or relationships. So it's very interesting how habitually we pull back into that same state of struggle, and then it is suffering. So your life is perfectly blessed. And today's practice, I'm going to give you little pointers to see where this thing comes back. It comes back very genuinely. It comes back as a great friend, and make it something much more larger and bigger and miserable and suffocating, so that you feel like you have to fight with this. And this is for everybody that who is in a fight of separation, fight of fixing yourself, fight of that ill health that you're fighting in a sense of struggle. Now you can combat things without making it a struggle. So let's go into the practice. So I will move the camera towards Darren, and I will gently work with you, very gently pointing these pointers. Hi, Jordan. So take a deep breath in and very gently allow your space to be open. Now, when I say space in physical level, space is also within. so that for a moment that your mind can just get out of the tentacles that it has been holding in this very moment into things that I need to work out this, I need to do this, I need to do that. So when you're breathing, try to take a couple of more deep breaths. So its breathing is not just a perception of breathing or your reading, but it is actually a feeling now. So there is the thought of breathing, but then there is an exercise of feeling it. Now, whatever the feeling comes up, you don't have to come back into the space of the mind to identify or tight or relax or I should be doing this, what kind of breathing I should be doing. A breathing that feels to you. Now, in this same way, you can sense everything around you, whether it's a sound, whether it's a light, but instead of going into the commentary of the mind, you're coming into the place of feeling. Now, this is a very good moment to ground into the present moment. So what are we grounding from? We are grounding from that our thoughts are not flying all over the place, and we are not flying with it. Because ordinary people, when they are stressed, that's what they do. Now, shoulders roll back, elevate the space of the heart. And now take a deep breath in and shrug the shoulders up, and breathe out, roll the shoulders back. Breathing in, shrug the shoulders up, breathe out, shoulders roll back, releasing the tension that where you are holding your tension. Take a deep breath in, shrug the shoulders up, breath out, shoulders relax and release the tension. Now, very gently, you're creating a space, a solution to what is existing in you, you're releasing it. Now, take a deep breath in, shoulders relax and chest open. Very gently stretch your neck and the head onto the right side. Very gently, allowing that space to be open. Very gently, shoulder relax. So you're coming into this space that the part of the thickness is released by breathing. The mind does not now, body does not mimic the thought and the emotion. You're just gently opening up. Breathing in back into the center onto the left side. Very gently keeping that left shoulder down, right shoulder open. Get that space open. Now breathing in very gently back into the center. Now take a deep breath in, shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back and massage the back of the skull. You will feel that if there's tension on your neck, jaw, and open up the mouth wider and close few times to create that space, that pointing you to release the tension that is being conditioned. Now you're bringing the practice to help that space for that condition, body trauma to release. Chin to the chest, breathe out. Now I want you to please look at what you're doing in the space of the mind, in the space of the body, so that you're not creating a problem, then you're not going to search of a solution. This is the polarity of the mind. It exists, the ego exists, creating it, and then want to run for the solution. Just watch why you are creating this space of difficulty. Just exactly when you're creating this difficulty, now take a deep breath in, breath out, relax. Now take a deep breath in and very gently twisting the spine to the left side. Breathing out. Breathing in back into the center. Change the leg formation and twisting the spine onto the other direction on the out breath. So now, if there is that restlessness, boredom comes to you, just sit with it. Don't try to find, I am going to do this today. I'm going to do that today. Breathing in back into the center. Now, very gently, while you're sitting in this position, take a deep breath in, push the belly into the front, shoulders roll back, open up that chest. Open up that chest. Breath out very gently into that moment, going into that deep place of the cat. Now, when you're holding the cat, I want you to pull the anus in, navel in, slightly lock in the throat deeper. You look into this space. Now, breathing in, tongue roll up, open up that gate of the floods of the energy up to the third eye. Gaze onto that space, and you will find there is a space. Does not have to be create or created or creating. It is a space that surrounds you, nothing to do. Breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Start taking some deep breath, because the breath is the speed of the body and the thoughts. So while taking your deep breath in, you're decided to be in the part of the life, not just a thought, not just an emotion, not just creating a problem. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye, opening up. Forehead open. And there is already solution, it is. Already clarity in that space. Now breathing in into a neutral spine. Now very gently we are coming onto the Vishnu Mudra on the right hand. Take a deep breath in and very gently holding your right nostril and opening up your left nostril and breathing out through the left nostril. Now breathing in into the count of 5, into the third eye, close the left nostril, open up the right nostril, breathing out into the count of 5. Now, don't breathe in immediately. Stay for a count of 5 after breathing out. Then breathing in into the count of 5 from the right nostril. Hold it on the third eye into the count of 5. Breathing out into the count of 5 from the left nostril. And even pause the breath for count of 5. After pausing the breath for count of 5, breathing in through the left nostril into the count of 5. Holding the breath in that space of the third eye into the count of 5. Breathing out into the count of 5 on the right. Now with your own tempo, you're creating this momentum and you're observing the breath, and you're understanding the practice a bit more deeper, you understand. And you understand your own games, your own hiding. Just observe. Now, when you're ready, breathing out through the left nostril, and just relax the hand on the knees. And don't make unnecessary trouble for your practice. And you're coming into the place of understanding. That understanding is dawned into your practice today. Now you can watch if the mind is creating a struggle again. And then it uses your memory to spin it. Now take a deep breath in. So you have to understand, if your mind is not observed, it is the great creator of the destruction. So now take a deep breath in. So practice is saying to you, you're in the best space, best level of understanding in your own level. And you're born with that place of innermost nature, that nothing needs to be added, nothing needs to be removed. Now take a deep breath in. Very gently bring your left leg stretch into the back, opening up your right hip. Always inquire the question, who am I? Or even, not even what am I, just think as the body and what is this? Because at that very moment, the ego cannot exist in that place of inquiry, in that place of emptiness. It needs something to be active. So it will start with fixing, fighting. Now shoulders roll back, take a deep breath in, breathe out, drop those elbows and walk those palms into the front. And stretch those arms, clench and unclench, and release the tension of those palms, fingertips. Give a good rotation and release and ground them. Remember, your separation, your ego exists only in conflict. Now, if you have a conflict personality, you have a strong ego. It doesn't mean that you're proud and you're arrogant. This also can be ego as a victim. The ego is not an entity. It is actually a tension. When there is a place of separation, when there is a fight, when there is something that you are trying to force yourself, the tension arises. So your ego comes back. Is this you? Or is this the habitual path that you have taken when the practice is not being reminded? Now take a deep breath in, very gently coming back. Palms walk back, coming back to what? Coming back from the tension, coming back from the ego, coming back from doing. Of course, knowing this personality, you don't like things to be simple. You want even your tension to be more and bigger. Because everyone loves these days big things. Now very gently take a deep breath in and coming into a plank, strong on the pelvic floor. Head to the toes are your spine. Now this is a very good time. If your own problem is not enough, you want to start thinking about humanity, family, and create the problem even worse. The world, the future, this and that, and the new world, and all those things. Just observe what you are unnecessarily holding in this gentleness. It's too heavy. Drop the knees. Take a deep breath in and stretch the spine on the out breath into the back, palms facing up. Now this is the time, very gently. What is this? Who am I? That very moment, that for us to think that the world is depend on our advice and our correction, you can very gently drop that. At that very moment, I'm not saying to you to not to be part of humanity, but if you're contributing into the humanity out of this, it will create more problem. It will have more problem in countries. It will have more problems in your relationship. It will have more problems in your health. And by having that place and even advising, even as teachers, we can create problems. So I'm not a teacher. I'm not a master. I'm just helping you as a friend who has the day-to-day struggles like you and very gently working out things. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Now, I would like you to very gently curl that spine, coming into a place, very gently dropping that belly onto the floor, breathing in into an up face, shoulders roll back, open up. I like this body to be more open. So very gently, remember the war exists outside because war is existing inside. Breathe out to a down face, very gently coming into a down face. Now bend one knee at a time to release the tension. No holding tension, very gently opening up from the difficulty of the body into the space of flowing. Now very gently give this time where you have caught up in the creation of the problem, creation of the difficulty. Now take a deep breath in, lifting up onto the toes, bending both knees and bringing your lower ribs onto those knees. Shoulders roll back, chest open, back of the head open. Now take a deep breath in and very gently stretch the left leg up into the back. Give a good rotation to the left foot. Now left knee onto the left chest, breathe out. Come forward as much as possible. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee onto the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back, interlacing the fingers. Back of the head aligned, back of the neck aligned. Don't slouch forward. Keep the space of the heart, align with the spine, arms raised onto the crown. Now interlacing the fingers, palms facing up, shoulders are relaxed, just open. Palms onto the Namaskar position. Just take a moment and come into this space of You're observing the chit-chat of the mind, but you're not contributing it. You're observing the breath, but you're not forcing the breath. Your body is moving, but you're not forcing into anything. Now, which way is that space is? Is that the space that your name knows, your body knows? A place that out of surrender that you're coming into, understand of the surrounding. A life is totally now full. It doesn't have to be add or taken. Without any problem. So when do you add problem into something neutral like this? Now ask the question and realize when habitually something coming, spread the wings wider, arms raised onto the ground. Take a deep breath in, turn to the right side, opening up onto the Virabhadrasana, the warrior pose. Now tuck the tailbone slightly because most of you are pushing the bum back. Pull the belly in slightly. The pelvic tilt has to be pubic bone into the navel. That front knee is relaxed, foot is relaxed. Even you're grounding onto the floor. You're not taking the body pushing in. You're just surrounding into a flow. Because now that you are emptiness, that your ego is not there, so something else is blossoming. Something living that does not need any of the commentary and any of the outside world. The energy has turned into a light. Energy has turned into a life. Energy has turned into healing. Energy is blooming. Now take a mudra on the left to remind you this energy. Unmoving, watching, blossoming, flowing. Gentle arch. Take a deep breath in and bringing that elbow onto the front knee. Right shoulder roll back and sit on the sacrum and elbow pointing up. And when your body is really ready, take that right arm up to the ceiling, creating a space of flowing. So you are now moving into a place of no fight, no problem, no struggle, in the space of understanding. Right arm reaching into the front, touch the floor. Our left arm reaching up to the ceiling, clench and unclench. Observe the direction, observe where things are stuck, observe where the energies are sour, and what thoughts and emotions are you feeding into the space of sourness. Left reaching into the back and touch the floor. Now very gently take a deep breath and drop the back knee onto the floor, holding onto the front knee. Shoulders relaxed and chest open. Arms stretch onto the sides. Garudasana, right arm on the top. Now very gently touch that third eye to stimulate the energy that is flowing. And very gently release that space into that openness. Because energy needs, even to create problems, energy also need to understand that. Now your observation is almost like a lila, a dance, a trance, and the whole energy is suddenly, you see that you don't have any head. Because when you're thinking about the ego, thinking about fixing, energy stuck in the head, is moving all around, creating all that. But now it's all head and body. Your body is no longer rigid. It has become flexible. It has become flowing. Spread the wings wider and open up that place of the creation that comes to your moment when your boundaries are no longer. So you are melting and merging into the space of the universe. Watch the body in its dance, in its lila, into a plank, strong on the pelvic floor. Onto a lower plank, almost like a push-up. Breathing in into up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Now right leg up into the back. Give a good rotation to the right foot. Right knee to the right chest. Breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Right knee to the right elbow. Breathe out. Come forward. Breathing in, stretch back. Right knee to the left elbow. Breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Right foot into the front. Arm stretch into the back. Interlacing the fingers. Back foot in an angle. Arms raised onto the crown. Interlacing the fingers. Shoulders relax. Keep that breath happening. Palms onto the Namaskar position. Now I want you to watch the body. I want you to watch the whole transformation and transition. I want you to get out of that fixed forms, fixed structure of the posture, fixed frames of the mind, and become more alive. I want you to feel every part of the cells are alive. When you come into this, opening up onto the Virabhadrasana, onto the left side, into the space of the warrior. Who am I? The head inside has disappeared again. You have come into that space of the innocence. When you're in the space of the innocence and the space of the child, you're not interested in creating problems. You're interested in playing. You're interested in dance. You're interested in living. You're interested in so many other things. Art, performance, laughing. When did you forget all these things? Gentle arch into the back. Breathing in, very gently coming back. Elbow onto the knee. Left arm roll back into the sacrum. And you're pointing and looking up into the elbow. Take another deep breath. If the hand feels like it wants to grow up to the ceiling, allow that extension to come. Don't miss the steps when you are getting trapped. Feel the inner direction. Don't get into the idea of the asana only, pranayama only. Come into the place of dharana, dhyana, and the samadhi, that the energy that was creating the problems in the head is now moving into a flow, moving into a place of melting, moving into a place of unfrozen. It is coming into the place of the universe. Stretching into the front, touch the floor. Take a deep breath in, stretch that right arm into the front, clench and unclench up to the ceiling. Right reaching into the back and touch. Come into a place of primitiveness. Plank. Strong on the pelvic floor. You can drop the knees and bring the chest down, or you can come into the Chaturanga Dandasana, a push-up position, breathing in into the up face, breathing out towards the down face, breathing in into a plank, drop the knees, stretch the spine, breathing out, breathing in, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into a gentle up face, breathing out to a down face, breathing in, drop the knees and stretch the spine, breathe out, breathing in, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breath in into an up face, breath out towards the down face, breathing in, drop the knees, breathing out, stretch the spine, breathing in, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into an up face, breathing out towards the down face. Drop the knees, breathing out, stretch the spine, palms facing up. So complete itself in by understanding. This is a good time that people say that I don't have that energy to do anything. But you have to understand, if you are not flowing with the flow of the body, when you're thinking and creating that space of frustration, also you're wasting life energy, because that is also life that you're wasting. By this opening up and allowing the fresh breath to move in, breathe out, you're creating that flow of energy. I just want you to come into the practice and let the practice complete in that space. And tomorrow will be there. Don't worry about it. It will take care in tomorrow. Some people try to live tomorrow today, and they are adding so much into today. So they are creating this anxiety and fear. So what does this shows? This shows that you are not living in the space of understanding. You're not celebrating the gift and the dance and the festivity and the love of that space of that God, your higher realization. If you start living like this in the space of the practice, you don't have to force yourself to get rid of your identity, habitual patterns, ego. It just disappears. Space of life does not know you. It does not know ego. It just unites the awareness in living. Life does not know self. Life does not know separation. In the space of the breath, you allow that life to enter into you. The cosmos enters into you. The wisdom enters into you. Now take a deep breath in, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Take a deep breath in, soften the hips, shoulders relax. Now take a deep breath in and clasp the hands in the back and lift up the chest. Now reach onto the ankles, create the space, don't tighten the back of the thigh, back of the ankles. You're coming into the Dhanurasana, holding onto the ankles. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and squeeze that back of the shoulder. Hold that energy there, breathe out and release forehead onto the floor. Now take a moment to understand if you are really bringing into your life tomorrow the difficulty, the fear and the anxiety, it's simply saying to you that you are not living rightly. You're not living life. Your life is not yet a celebration, but you might be saying that, let me work out this and I will celebrate it next week. Your life is not a festivity. Your life is not a dance. It's not a trance. Because right now, even on a valid level, you're holding onto the problem. Now take a deep breath in, shoulders relax and chest open. Now very gently bring your left leg up, higher as possible. Now let the right foot support that knee on the left side. So very gently bend the right leg and support that left knee like a locust, so that your right foot is supporting the left knee. Yeah. And keep it on top of the knee on the top. So basically like this, like a locust. So I will go next to that side and I'll show the posture. So you're taking a deep breath in and you lift up and then you support with the other and your palms on the chest level and you're holding this posture. Let that heat comes onto the back of the body. Breathe. Now very gently, drop the leg and change the side and allow from that foot to the energy to come onto the back of the shoulders, back of the neck. That's okay. That's it. Almost like a locust. Now very gently release. Now take a deep breath in, coming into up face. Shoulders relax and chest open. Breathe out towards the down face. Now very gently walk those feet into the front. Palms flat, bend the knees, holding onto the back of the neck. Give a good squeeze and a massage onto the C1 and the C2 spine in the back of the head. Now remember, it's not your life and my life and the life of my dog or the cat. Life is one. We are all part of that life, living in spectacles everywhere and shining as much as we can. It comes to you, it passes through you. In fact, to say that it comes into you isn't right, because then it seems like it comes into you and then passes out of you. Basically, it means it's there. This whole illusion of the ego is not there. It is something that added by a shadow. So take this moment, allow the life to exist in this beautiful form, and wake up the spine by that realization, one vertebra at a time. Energy and its spark. Once you understand this, let that understand be your mantra. Shoulders relaxed, chest open. Shake those hands, shake those arms, shake the body, jump up and down and release the tension of your ego. Release the tension of your problem. Arms raised onto the ground, lifting up onto the toes. Lengthen the body as much as possible. Breathe out, relax and release. Now very gently give a good rotation to the hips, wider rotation. Wider rotation. Give a good rotation to the knees by holding the knees, or even just gently rotating the knees in a circular motion. Now take a deep breath in, feet apart, and very gently sitting deeper. Sitting deeper. Now I want you to this moment, taking that responsibility for your own being. The world does not have to do anything about it. A partner does not have to do anything. Mother or father does not have to do anything. This is the cause of all the misery. Even this is very hard for the mind to comprehend. There is no way that anybody else can take our misery. As that no one else can make us blissful or understand this realization. You have to become aware of it. You have to become aware of whether you're miserable or you're in place of understanding and realization. So in a human level and a human mind, your misery is also created by you. Your bliss is also. But it's always hard to accept the fact that misery is created by us, because we are so much conditioned to blame the world, blame the others. Now very gently coming into sitting posture, I want you to sit into this space of this understanding today. Now see where you have given in this time that the responsibility has to be someone else in the world. By giving that responsibility away, you're also taking the liberation out of you, taking the freedom out of you. Because if you're responsible for your life, then freedom is the same side of one coin. If you think that the other person is responsible, then the freedom is also gone from you. So this is not about following me or following anyone. This is taking time. So I want you to just observe. Take this moment, just see if the misery is created by the world, then you must be unfortunately waiting for the world to give you bliss. Then you have to ask the question, what are you doing here? If both of those are belongs to the world. So very gently release the tension of these strings that are holding you and stopping you, but you're not taking some decisions in your life, small ones, to change this. For your own liberation. So this is not about identity of bringing that I will fight this. It's not like that. You're coming into that space to not to create any misery furthermore. Just gently observe that the picture that runs on the screen, you have the choice to switch off. So this is the time if there is some sort of a difficulty, you understand the cause of it. And you understand the cause within yourself. And if you no longer feed that cause, the misery is disappearing. Simple as that. When something is very simple, humanity doesn't want to get it. But it comes out from some level of education and institution to remove this misery, people would run into it. So today's practice is just taking that responsibility. You are also all causes of the joy that you're experiencing. You're no longer losing your soul. You don't have to look into others. But in this very moment, in this subtle moment of this practice, the whole kingdom is yours. Very gently take a deep breath in, arms raised onto the crown, and clearing that space of aura into that respect that you give to yourself. Freedom and the responsibility you're holding together. Arms onto the Namaskar position of that self and its realization. Touch the earth, respect for that space of the earth that we hold this body. Gently coming out of that practice of the physicality and the mentality, and coming into the space of witnessing. Namaste. Namaste.